Hello and welcome back to Supernatural Living. It's Debs here. I want to talk to you today about what happens when you feel like you have really been doing the work, but you're just not getting the results you wanted. What can you do when you find yourself in that situation? So before I dive in and talk about that, please do like, share, subscribe to my channel, get on board with this because it makes it so much easier for me to make these videos and share with you. And I really want to keep doing that. So let's dive in. What happens when you feel like you have been doing the work and yet you're not getting the results that you wanted? Now, initially this might sound like a bit of a kicker, but please do listen to what I'm going to share and see if it can make any sense to you. So the thing is, when we are doing the work to get a result and we are spending a lot of our time checking to see if the result has happened, it's a little bit like planting a seed, watering it and then digging it up to see if it's grown yet. The digging it up is going to stop its growth. So there's a way in which we have to do what it is, like plant the seed, water it, do what needs to be done, and then trust the process, because the minute that we start to check, then we are putting resistance in place. It's a little bit like if you're trying not to think of a pink elephant. It's like if you're kind of going, right, I mustn't think of a pink elephant, I mustn't think of a pink elephant. You are thinking of a pink elephant. That is resistance in play. And equally, then if you're right, okay, I won't think of a pink elephant, I'll think of a zebra, I'll think of a zebra. How long has it been since I thought of a pink elephant? It's not been that long, it's been 20 minutes or so. You know, have I got the results that I want now? I haven't been thinking of a pink elephant. And you've brought yourself right back into the place that you're trying to move out of. So when we are creating, we're always creating, but when we are consciously creating, what we are doing is we are removing our attention. We're moving away from what we have always done, what it is we don't want, and moving into paying attention, looking towards what we do want. So we take the example of the pink elephant. If we've had tons of pink elephants in our lives because we've been paying attention to pink elephants forever and we want zebras, we're taking our attention away from the pink elephants and we're putting them on the zebras. If we look at zebras for a while and we go, yeah, I'm doing this really well, I'm into zebras, I much prefer them, they're great. And then we do that thing, we check back in. Well, let's have a look at how my pink elephants are getting on. You know, have they disappeared now? How long has it been since I've seen a pink elephant? And we check back in. Guess what? We've put our attention right back onto what we were trying to move away from. And as soon as we put our attention there, then we are going to be creating that again. So there is a way in which we can become detached. This doesn't mean that we don't care. It doesn't mean that we're not interested anymore in the results that we want. But if we have something, once we have something, like I don't think of the things that the land that I've been putting in. I put in a lot of time to create the piece of land that I'm building my house on being mine. Now, I don't think about that really now every day. I'm totally fully aware that the land is mine, but I don't spend any time. It just is. It just is mine. I just know that is a knowing in me. I'm kind of I'm a little bit back from it now. I'm not emotionally involved in that so much because it just is. And I know it was almost strange when I was creating the land being mine. There came when I actually went to pick up the keys. I mean, I was excited and it was amazing and it was great, but there absolutely was an element of me that was like, oh, well, this has been done for a long time. You know, it was almost like, oh, reality is actually catching up with something that has been true with me for a long time. So a part of the process of creating is we become self-persuaded of something that our senses in that time are telling us isn't real and doesn't exist, we are becoming self-persuaded that it actually does exist right now. If we close our eyes, close our ears, close everything, our senses off, we imagine that it is real to the extent that it feels so real to us. And when, as I said, like with my land, when something is so real that it is like that already, we are not taking steps, or like, I don't check every day if my land still belongs to me. It does. And we don't take steps. I'm not taking any steps to make the land. I'm not paying for it or talking to the estate agent. That's done and dusted. So my attention isn't there. My attention is on the next thing that I'm creating, on the next thing, the building, the actual building of the house. That's where my attention is now. And until I am fully persuaded that that is now a done deal. So one of the reasons why we, if we're even asking the question, I've been doing this for ages and I'm not getting the results, that question arises from a space in us that has absolutely checked out and looked at, put our attention back on what we didn't want. So it is learning to come to a space of being so persuaded that this is how it is, that it has to be fulfilled out in the world. So another example that I'll share with you, because it's coming up, I had a little bit of a falling out with a family member, and it absolutely was not something that I wanted. And it was going on for a little while, and I did all the normal, usual things that we would do out in the world. And then it occurred to me, what do you share? What do you talk about? What do you preach and teach? It was like, do that, walk your talk. So internally, I focused on what it was I wanted. I didn't focus on what my senses, what real time, what out in the world would tell me. I absolutely focused on what it was I wanted, fully and completely. Obviously, I had to live my life and do what needed to do. I didn't, sit in a corner and contemplate my navel. I did what I was, anything that I had to do. But my attention, what I was looking at, I was completely and utterly self-persuaded that our relationship was mended, was beautiful, was great, was all good. There was no problem there. And guess what? With no actions out in the world, that was exactly what came to pass. But I noticed that if ever I stopped to check on whether that was going on, that is something that really slows down the process. So I'm going to invite you to have a play with it, because that's what's so important here. To actually get the results, to actually see this in real time working, we have to play with it ourselves. So go and have a play. And as I said, I love it when you comment down on my videos. I love it when you share. I love it when you subscribe to my channel. So if that makes sense to you, please do that. Take care. Have a great day. I'll be back again soon with another video.